Welcome, my nice people, my inquisitive crew. Let's talk about love and hip hop, Miami. Now, what is going on here? Safari and Amara, like, you guys are taking this joke thing too far. Like, why are you going to see a pastor? You've been together for 5 minutes and now you're going to see a pastor. And I was like, okay, he said he's getting closer to God. So I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing, of course. But, like, don't take it for no joke thing. Like, you lot in here, she's talking about, the vasectomy situation. You got the pastor talking about, getting down to the aisle. And I'm just like, no, you guys need to stop playing around at this point. Amara, you asked him about the vasectomy. He doesn't want to have, obviously he wants to have one. You want to have kids, so it doesn't make any sense. None of it's making any sense, people. And also, of course, she's vexed about finding out about the vasectomy from Shay rather than from him. But I'm just like, this is just all doing too much. It's just doing too much. And speaking of doing too much, now Flo, you went to go and see this Mambo voodoo woman in the last season, so to go and put some, curse on your sister, and you're thinking about it backfiring on your family. Well, I just find it all very, very strange. This whole family is just full of mix-up, because there's a such thing called karma, because you're going to go and put out bad energy out there that will still come back to you at some point. Anyway. And then you have your lesbian relationship, which I don't know if it's very true or not. Marlon doesn't seem to be taking it very seriously. But, Claudia obviously wanting to tell everybody that, you're together. You're not wanting to do that. I just feel like at the moment you're just basically, having fun with her and just not wanting to probably go with a man because you don't want to go there. You still love Marlon. Or maybe you guys used to have threesomes and this is just what you're used to doing, because I find it strange that you said that Claudia was your friend and she's obviously been around you. So... yeah, what happened in the past, or is it just a new thing now? Now, when Amara met up with Shay, it did make me laugh, because it was like she had to have a little bit of humble pie, because yes, it was true what he said. And obviously Shay was trying to tell her, to warn her about him. Shay's kind of giving me like vibes of almost like Carly Red, a little bit messy, but still trying to check in on her friends, like that kind of vibe. Because obviously she brought up the whole Von Shay thing as well. And Amara, you can tell she kind of wants to stay away from that whole situation. I did think it was nice of her to go pop in and check in on Von Shay at Gunplay's music video. But really, and she was really trying to, be honest or whatever. But of course, she's also quite messy. And, obviously Von Shay speaks about her being there for her. And so she mentions Amara and says, have you heard from her? And of course, Von Shay basically says no, that she thought, she's kind of questioning their friendship, because they used to speak quite often. So, yeah, there is some question marks there with Amara. I don't know what she's doing there. But really, it just sounds like she just wants to mind her business and stay away from it all. Now, Zoe, I thought her song was really good. It's a bop, so I really hope that she does really well. And I felt really bad for her. I think it was, interesting to see her open up to Bobby about her situation with her family. And then when she went to go and visit her family, I was like, ooh, you could just feel the chill. Like, as soon as she opened the door, the mum, it was like, they were static there almost, like, do you know what I mean? It was like you could feel the chill. So I felt like, yeah, there's obviously some tension there. Clearly, we don't know what's going on in their family, because we only see like a few minutes of the show. But it does give that vibe of, it's very estranged and definitely not really showing that daughter love. I kind of felt bad for her, do you know what I mean? The only one who seemed to have like picked up for her, from what we could see from that edit, was the younger sister with the red braids in her hair, because at one point he said, yeah, you do treat her differently than us. So I thought at least she's got someone kind of batting for her, because her mum was trying to deny that. So I do hope she finds kind of peace and healing. And it was really sad just watching her having to, cry and pray in the car. But that to me was a genuine moment, whereas I do question, Safari and Amara in the church in that way, because they know, and Safari knows is some mix-up going on that he's got going on there. And speaking of mix-up, I'm like, Joy, please stop the foolishness. Why is she trying to entertain Marlon? Like, the man is disgusting, like Trina said. How is it that let's retrace, because didn't he sleep with Gaelle's friend first, and then he also slept with Gaelle, who is the sister? So any man that's on those sort of moves is someone you should be staying clear from. But no, Joy seems like she's very much interested, and it seems like she may have crossed the line with him already anyway, based on the way she was kind of moving and saying, well, she's grown, she's going to do what she wants to do. But boy, that is your madness to step into, honey, because clearly your eyes should be open, and like your cousin said, it's a madness. Now let's get back to Flo's music release party, which to me was funny, because, she was just saying earlier about being worried about things backfiring, and then in comes her sister. No, before that, let's rewind. Before that, you know, she comes in with Claudia, and then of course Bobby Lights decides to tell everybody that it's her girlfriend and announce her. Like, why are you outing the girl like that? Is it your business? Being messy. And then, of course, the sister pops in. I'm just like, yes, of course, Love and Hip Hop will set up so she can come in there. Because I'm like, we haven't seen a sister yet on this season. And then here she comes with her madness, talking about, you know, since her sister put basically the voodoo on her, her life has been going downhill. But also, do you not think about your karma, Gaelle? Because you slept with your sister's husband, you were keeping secrets for your sister's husband. It was a whole heap of mix-up. So there's that at play too. And maybe the voodoo is working too. But it's just a whole heap of mix-up. You come in there to create more mix-up. I just thought, this family are definitely toxic. Because Gaelle's dashing drinks. Then the girlfriend's obviously dashing things back. And then Gaelle ain't even finished then. I thought once she dashed the drink, she'd leave. No, she goes to find her way to Trina, to tell Trina, look, this is my sister, but you better watch out for her. So I'm just like, okay, Gaelle's back with her madness. And then Bobby, just doing way too much. Doing too much. I mean, I know he likes to be entertaining, but I'm like, no, seriously. First you're outing people with relationships. Then you're trying to bring the gossip to Trick. And it just made me laugh because clearly Trick didn't want to hear from you because obviously he's vexed with you from the barbecue incident. But I thought actually you can't say he didn't want the tea. He wanted the tea because you can see in the next episode he's talking about, you know, he's going to check Marlon and chatting about he ain't trying to be no husband-in-law. So yeah, it's a whole heap of madness. But Bobby to me in that scene was doing too much, pointing his fingers and just doing the most. Trick looked like he really did want to knock him out, and clearly Trina just told him basically to get lost, and she's told him that many times. So it did make me laugh at the end when he was cussing about, yeah, you know, people trying to treat you like a groupie. But I'm like, well, honey, I watched the show, and from when I see the show, it does seem like you get the groupie kind of treatment anyway. But anyway, guys, what did you think of the episode? Were you entertained with the madness?